So the genocide, which I want to talk about, because they've built all these walls and made me the opposite character of what I am. And so they're building a structure where I can't reach my esteem needs. And they've barricaded me out of a members group. So there's all these walls to create my own wealth, that are in the way of creating my own wealth and my own happiness. And that's where I want to say they are maliciously torturing me. So I had a job at Concentrics, I had a job at 2 Degrees, I had a job at Fidelity Health, I had a job at some hearing clinic in Auckland, and the whole time they destroyed my life and went on this campaign that PAX 5 and these group of 5 are better than me, they're professional and I'm trash. And I'm saying, when is enough enough? Like, I've already lost 7 years of my life. They want me to pay for the rest of my life staying ugly. They want to keep hold of everything that they've stolen off my life and make sure that everybody else is living a cushy life. And I'm not allowed to work for the rest of my life. And it's like, why would you keep punishing me? Like, that's exactly what I'm working towards, and you keep punishing me. And you are doing it criminally by going through my telephones and taking out what I'm working on. So, like, you don't know, but I've had about 50 emails shut down illegally from this government corporation. And every time I'm emailing all these places and systems to get a job, she's basically reading all my letters every day and stealing all my letters and then acting like me. These girls that were not even above me. They're just, it's like you're making me teach her everything and get all the money, and I'm left here with nothing. And not only that, I'm devalued and humiliated in front of a group of friends that you wanted me tortured and cut out of. And so now they're systematically starting all this racism wherever I go. I've had a group of cops, part of that organisation, following me around, calling me an effing weirdo. So the genocide that happened in Christchurch came up to Auckland now, and then it's come over to Melbourne, and then it went over to Sweden. And now they've built another tower in Canada. And it's just kind of like, what are you doing? You're holding me hostage in a time of 2019 and you won't let me progress. The real Jenny is full of adventure, is a really strong woman. I was a really strong, and I'm not like strong like, oh, I can bench press like 60 kg. I just meant my internal self and my esteem is very strong. And if you're going to have a woman that wants to act like she's more sensitive, but she's paying for people to beat you till you're a bloody pulp on the ground and having all these police beat me because she's insecure about me, I think that shows there's some psychological problem in her head. Because you can't just go around following and stalking somebody and telling them that they're like, because that's actually that's predator behavior. So it's putting me at a space where I'm vulnerable to somebody that's got psychological problems and wants to wound me. They follow my PSP address, which shows they've got either it's criminal, either it's corporate, or either it's gangs that are able to go into all these PSP addresses and follow me around and stalk and harass me, hack into all of my Facebooks. Like, a thing is governmental. Like, it's got to be some sort of shadow type government or something like this, because nobody has this much power, and the power over me is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I just want to do my life, like, and this person's like, we're intimidated by you and you're succeeding too fast. So they've just gone out of their way to sabotage everything I'm doing. And it's like, well, now that you've taken away my power and now that you don't want me to exist in front of these friends or have a good face, how come you don't get done for murder? Because that kind of stuff that I've built in my life takes time. Just like you want to have the appreciation of an audience for showing off that you've been a dancer and you're like, your ass cheeks look great, you know, or your biceps look fucking great while you're like holding these dancers in the air. Am I not allowed to feel good in my life? Is that really offensive to you people? Like that I'm actually being caged up, abused, violently attacked, ruined face, ruined house, ruined absolutely all of my orifices, ruined my life having a baby. Like, I've got to be punished because deep inside that's how much insecurity and threatening of my life you are. I mean, it's ridiculous that people can't have conversations anymore, that I'm just being scapegoated all these years for all these women. and everything that I'm doing in my life, they create sort of like these TV shows where they're better than me. So I was going to get into communications, and then I got into Massey about it, and then all of a sudden they're sitting at a table doing these talks like they're all journalists now. And that's, this is where the genocide is. It's like, first of all, I don't have multiple personality. The person, like today, this is me talking about this is the side of me that would just talk logically about my life. The sides of me that have been crying, and the other sides of me that are like about, my wounding and being tortured, was me being a victim. It's still all me though. It's just that there's sides of me. It's just that side's me vulnerable, that side's me. I mean, you're not going to see a victim acting like that at a workplace. But I've actually worked at a place called Keen Price Print in my first business card job, and doing all these flyers, and the boss was lying on the couch crying, huddled in a ball, because he had a divorce and his whole relationship fell into custard, and everything was breaking down around him, and he just had a breakdown in the middle of the office right behind where my desk was, and he was sitting there curled in a ball crying, and I just turned around and I was like, oh my God. I was only 22. I was not a counsellor, I was a designer. I didn't even really care about people. As in, I just was really worried about fashion. I was really worried about going out on the weekend and meeting my mates. This guy's problem didn't matter to me. I'm just trying to tell you the mindset I was when I was a kid. And I was just looking at him like seriously, you're gonna like your problem is a real inconvenience to me right now. I'm trying to do my work. Now, that's kind of how I was. But now, because I've gone through all these things, my heart would go out to him. I'm trying to tell you, I've evolved. I would not be like that at all. I would be like, dude, your whole family's falling apart. That's horrible. You want to talk about it? This is what happens. I'm trying to say I've grown in my life, and I've changed a lot. I've grown a lot more depth in my life. So yeah, I didn't really care about this guy's problem, but he was there, and he actually kept coming to me for sympathy for some reason, maybe because I was young, and he knew that I probably didn't really have a clue about life, so he just dumped all this stuff onto me. I didn't know what to do. I just said, I'll just make you a cup of tea, eh? And so I made him a cup of tea, and he just kept crying, and his life was, in shambles. And so anyway, I did this job, and I worked for that guy, and I've evolved my emotional world, and he is dead now, that man. He's died, unfortunately. A lot went on in that office. Like the girl actually fell in love with my co-worker, and she actually started attacking me because she thought he liked me. And so women are crazy. I'm going to tell you, women are absolutely batshit crazy. Had no emotional feelings for my co-worker. On our mental level, we were amazing together. For some reason, we just had this weird, quirky identity together and it was really fun to work with him. He was like the 40-year-old virgin or something. And I won all these stripper drinking. I think Leanne came. I won about a $5,000 bar tab for calendar girls, and it was weird. So I bought a whole lot of girls, and I bought Stephen, the 40-year-old virgin, and we just sat there and got drunk at a strip club, and it was really weird. But because it was free drinks, we all went, and it was a strip club for men's entertainment, and so all of us girls were really uncomfortable drinking while these girls are grinding on the poles, and it was so funny because he's such a nice, kind of wholesome guy. He didn't know where to look the whole time. Anyway, yeah, so basically in my life I changed, and I developed my emotional world, and I am a lot more deeper and understanding and really caring about people. And I don't mean I mean, I'm not a weirdo. I'm not going to go out there and be like, I'm going to save the world. I want to look after you, darling, everybody in the whole world. No, like, I just, there's real people that need support and help, and they've ruined that for me. They've like really dishonoured me for so long, and really, like, the Australians have stolen all the caring and emotional empathy with other people, and then I've got problems with China that have been doing crimes against humanity, like basically invading all my privacy and hacking me, and then Japan has also caused the Holocaust with the toilet video in it. So I don't understand why I'm being walled out of social support. Like, why is it okay to just basically take somebody that's had these roots of design? So in that time I was focused, and I was really good at my craft. I was really good at designer. Like, most of my girlfriends were too. Like, Fiola's a pretty good designer. She's not a designer anymore though, but she had a good eye. She's quite good at branding, like Fiola, from what I remember. And I can't really remember Sandra and Lucy's style, but I just never had, I really enjoyed my youth. It really got me to flex my independence, and I didn't realize I had a disability or anything in those stages. I just got on with my life. And so I'm telling you, there was a social group within that whole time. And then I had my social group in that business at Keen Price Print. Like, we had social get-togethers all the time. And I was inviting people like Leanne and I think other friends from the times that we were social to come out with me to these work gatherings. And then, I used to always go to my Uncle Melvin's every Christmas. They had a gathering, and he always invited me to come sit with him and Felix and the other boys that worked there. I've always had people to sit and talk to, and I'm not allowed to. And it's like, not only that, it's like you're taking away my youth. And so the genocide is, so the point of me saying that is that my mind's evolved over this life, and I'm not allowed a future. I've just been kind of like, anything that I believe that I am, they're kind of like challenging it and erasing it and giving me psychological abuse over it. And it makes it very hard for me to take action, because I can't, I don't know, it's just kind of like they're making me stressed, because it's, for me, I think if you're going to be a leader, you wouldn't cause all this confusion. If you want to lead, you give a direct, like, if they wanted to take control of me and make me like some sort of like direction, they're doing everything wrong as far as I'm concerned, because you can't tell somebody that they're a piece of shit every day and then say, go be confident and love yourself. It's like counterintuitive. It's not going to work. You have to actually take into account that you're actually stripping away somebody else's value. You're discriminating against them. You've hurt their feelings for years and years. It's like grating, you know how you grate a block of cheese? It's like grating somebody's skin again and again, or like tying them to the back of a ute and smearing their body until it like is bleeding raw, and letting them sit and heal all night for 2 weeks. And as soon as it starts to develop a crust, throwing them on the back of the ute and then torturing them again and dragging that skin straight back to reopen the same wound. That's what they're doing to me for the past 7 years. It's like the same wound reopened again and again, and then just pouring hot Dettol in it. That's exactly how it feels, what they're doing. They just keep reopening the same sort of wounds and not letting me heal in any way, and not letting me have my own social groups. They think they're going to keep me alone for 11 years. The thought of it makes me want to kill myself every day. I don't want to be alone for 7 years. I didn't come here to be alone. I don't know why somebody's decided to take hold of my life and make me a political prisoner and hold me hostage and make me pay endless debt, and why somebody's sold my purity and my dowry. Like, that is really sad to me, because they didn't want me to be known as angelic or known as such a loving human being, which I was. I was totally full of love. and not in the wrong way, not to like for attention and not for people that were like, I was around really loving people, really nice people. And I'm just saying, like, I shouldn't have a life where like this. You know, I worked very hard to overcome some of my own family's darkness and my own darkness. And then I walked into the light and I just got taken by some cult that wanted me to, like, I was getting graffiti everywhere that I'm the devil's slave now and all this kind of stuff. And I was just so, you know, I think about it at the time in my mind, the things that go through my head when I was looking at it, and it didn't, I was just so, oh, my got some sick group of guys that think that they're like some sort of gods or something. That's what I was thinking, and because it was all spray painted around Melbourne, and then later on I found voodoo doll in one of the bricks in the wall. And I do remember feeling darkness, and I do remember seeing this kind of like this bull-like character, and I thought, for some reason I called it Balthazar, because I thought it was a devil, and but it looked like a bull, and it was running past my room. And so I started to clear out my house with a lot of like sage and all these incenses, because I could actually feel kind of like this negativity in the air. And they were like filling my mum's brain up that I was really like for the devil, and I've got demonic voices in my head, and that I'm schizophrenic and all these sort of things, like locking my consciousness up. And I'm not schizophrenic. They just don't want to get away with the crime of this toilet video. And they've stolen like my light in my face. Like I just had a little, you know, I had a little face that, and with the most beautiful eyes, and they won't let me shine at anything that I'm good at. They hold back my ears. They stop me. They built walls in New Zealand so that I can't talk to anyone. I don't know which one's worse, the ones in Christchurch or the ones in Auckland. The ones in Christchurch, I think they were talking that I just stink and I'm a smelly mutt. All these horrible things, and they'd locked me in a dungeon that I was a taniwha. Like, yeah, I think it was John and those boys. And it's kind of like I've come up here, and now they've like done a new paint job for Japan. They've like silenced me and did this paint job and outcasted me and not letting me have social inclusion without this kind of mirror making me look like I'm petty and insane and a bitch and toxic, and it's like I can't come out of my shell. Like, you're taking away my right to be myself. Like, I just have peaceful, loving relationships, and I can't. And the last person I remember I had humanity with was sitting on a train in Sweden, and she just grabbed my hands and put into my hands this key ring of a love heart that was Ukraine. And she couldn't speak any English. Eventually I got my phone out and tried to translate what she was saying, but when she did that, I broke down crying, because it just made me, it was just really human. She knew that I was hurting, and she didn't know we couldn't speak to each other, so she just gave me this heart and put it in my hand, and it was really touching what she did, like, because I think she knew, she could hear that I was saying family. She knew what that meant. And she did tell me that her family, during the war of Russia taking over, that her husband was not allowed to come with her because he was seen, the woman and the children had to leave the country, the men weren't allowed to leave the country, and the older people. So she got to leave with her 2 children, but her husband had to stay behind in the war. And she was really upset because she couldn't, because her mother was really sick, and that she was worried because she can't see her husband. And I mean, we could talk later on during my phone, but at the start, when I didn't know, she just handed that to me and just touched me like that, and it just made me cry, because I could feel, you know, that's what humanity is, isn't it? She could see in me that I was hurting from losing my home and the people around me, and she also must know what it feels like in her own, whatever her experience is. and that's the point of connecting with people. And she's taken that from me for years, controlling every relationship that I've had with everybody, and won't let me associate with anybody. And that's the genocide, I think. Like, they build a massive structure, and it starts off with lots of propaganda, hate, bullying, outcasting, social discrimination. And they started making all these jokes and theatrical theatre that my life had turned to shit now that I've left that guy, and his life's turned great since they've broken up with me, type thing. That's what the joke was. And they just kind of made me this joke all over the doctors' places and all the hospitals, that I was this drunk root. All these kind of things were going on for years, and it's humiliating, because I just wanted my own privacy, and it's actually really against the law. Like, the whole governmental groups and assistants, it was just horrible. They're just like really, really criminal. And the creed just keeps going around like, we've got to save our men, and they just keeping me locked out of anybody helping me. They're locking me out of my own future. And I'm not going to get a future in New Zealand. I'm not going to get a future overseas. They've made racial apartheid. They're going to blackmail me and run the town with these videos. And I'm asking, when does it end? I've already suffered for 7 years. I'm not unemployed because I'm not good at work. I'm really good at work. But, I mean, I really want to they're pushing me out of here too, and I just can't be bothered living anymore. Like, I'm tired of it. It's like they take and take and take off me. No matter what, I'm not enslaved. And it's, all the things I've created, they've all just stolen off me. These mothers have stolen everything off me, and then their kids have stolen everything off me, then there's gangsters, and it's like everybody wants a piece of my work, and that's the thing that made me feel happy in life. I'd actually just do it because it's something I need to do for myself. Like, it makes me feel like a person, it makes me feel like a woman, and it feels like this person knows everything I want and love and punishes me and won't let me do it. And it's what made me feel happy. And it's like, I've always done art and design stuff at home. It's who I am. And yeah, it's like, I just can't. So the genocide, I want to tell you in facts, the genocide is usually a state-based murder, and it's organised by basically a bunch of people, and so it's planned. So this was a planned execution. I think it was from Turkey and Jacinta. They just decided to do a massive thing of, so they erased that I was an influencer to do with anything to do with photography and love and compassion. So that's what a Christchurch genocide was about. Made me a massive joke and just really crass, and they've just gone on all those walls that I'm a very big asshole, and I'm not like that at all. It is very, very cruel. And I'm just saying, for me, it's a stolen identity, because he's built all these walls that I'm an asshole, and every night they call me a bitch, and then they're socially ostracizing me, and it's I didn't do anything to deserve this. I didn't. I'm actually just having a normal life, and I'm being punished for being alive. I'm not allowed any loving connections. I'm not allowed to practice my own compassionate, loving, healing work type thing. And so I came up to Auckland, and I'm not going, and because my identity theft, my goal was to go back to call centre work to pay off and get back on my feet. They've just gone on and then I was like, I might go to university, because they're stopping working, and I want to just work at home, as I'm happiest at home. And I if I didn't have all these emotional problems, I would feel very confident and just get on with my work. I'm a self-starter. I'm really motivated in life, and I'm not. He's actually broken me down, and I get beaten for being somebody that was brilliant. So I just feel like they don't want me to be happy, and they want to take the glory of everything I work for, and I don't feel like it's fair at all. It's really unfair. Like, and I don't really want. I'm not. I'm not. They make out that I'm the arrogant asshole, and I'm not. I've never been like that. I found it really hard to stand up for myself. Like, I'm not like that at all. That's why they keep being intimidated. But I'm not. I'm just stern when it comes to work, and I'm in a situation where I have to take the lead or be the boss. Then you might see somebody that's very confident and strong and very stern. But most of the time, I'm not. I'm really different. I'm really like, yeah, I guess you're not the same person with your employees that you are with people that you love or people that know you. I just feel like I'm in all these compartmentalized boxes that I can't be myself anymore. That's how it feels. It feels like I can't emotionally express myself. I can't feel anything anymore, and I don't want to be here. So you won't even let me be beautiful. They're paying to keep me low price and ugly, and it's, what do you have to look forward to if this mother keeps stopping me and blackballing me? And I got persecuted for asking Ruben for help because I felt like, because I like helped him, that he wouldn't mind helping me if I felt like he might be in a position to help me. So I just wanted to ask that, and I really got my ass handed to me and abused and violently attacked. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of like surviving. I shouldn't be like this. They've been blackmailing me in the toilet all these years. So a genocide is a complete destruction of being able to sustain your own life. I just think this is malicious, not letting me work and not letting me get asylum. I should have been allowed to get asylum. I don't want to be under the police for 20 years. It's really abusive. I should have my right to do what I want in my life. I'm 46 years old now. I've lost so much time. I don't even have the love of my family because they wanted to ruin everything for me. And it's just kind of like, what do you look forward to? I mean, of course I can do prayer and I can feel positive because my mind does come, I don't know, there's something in me that's really weird. Look, I can't stay negative for too long. I get a bit like a child and I'm like, like, that's cool, that's happy. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's why I like being around people doing stuff, because it makes me not focused. So I get too focused, and if I focus too much on my problems, I can't get myself out of it because I'll get myself really depressed or sad about it. So that's why I like to go out and do things, and they're not letting me have that social interaction I need. And so the genocide, anyway, I've waffled on for so long, but the genocide, I think they start off with the regime. So is it the classification period where it's the me versus them? So they just started to make me the enemy of the state, basically. And then they did they started using propaganda machine and radio to create a whole lot of communism and create a whole lot of lies online and to plant a whole lot of bad seeds in people's minds about who I am. And they started a whole cult of the radio of me shitting. They started talking about how bizarre and weird I was, all this sort of stuff, and that I'm a wannabe star, I want to be a star, and so I just had my own star. I wasn't a star, and I didn't want to be a huge star or anything. I just liked my life. I was happy. I just knew a lot of people, and that made me happy, being able to visit all these different people all the time. So they did that, and that started the hatred. And the hatred was going all on the media. They printed newspapers, all sorts of stuff. I think they had like a Kindle about my head being really mental. And then they just basically started a whole group and executed me in the toilet. And I think a lot of people didn't want to be part of it, and a lot of people got beaten and pushed into it. Then I think America likes war. I think they profit off it or something. Then it's so what else was a part of the genocide? So the complete destruction of like, yeah, your own way to sustain a living, sustain a way to support yourself, all the employment agencies, all the support, like public services, these kind of things to help us get back on our feet or like sustain us through violence has all been shut off for me. As I'm paying all these bills and I don't owe it. And I'm saying, why should I be paying Trump all this stuff, and why did I get so viciously murdered in Australia by massive Australian gangsters and then by the Turkish and the public? And there's a lot of different groups working against me, and they're not letting me have my life back. And that's what was keeping me positive. And that's why in this case, at least when my face was first ruined, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like waking up and your face is so disfigured and you don't recognize yourself and not feeling like there's a tomorrow, but going to counselors and them looking beyond what you look like and saying, you need to beat this. You can find your inner core strength and beat it. Like, you can go back to work. You can make millions of dollars. You don't have to worry about what you look like. If you're ugly today, just focus on your money. So I did. And they've just worked overtime sabotaging my steps to be my own person. So it's like they put this woman, I think they just put Kiki in front of me and Poppy and Kayla to always come against me, whatever I want to achieve in my life. And it's really horrible. Like, I just want to move. I can't move. I can't do anything. Everybody's in my business all the time. And they must be some sort of political stars. Like, it's just really abusive what I've been through. And then, you know, they've printed all these books too about me being a durian smelly vagina. That's a complete destruction and erasure of a whole group of people. That's ethnic cleansing. And also they printed a book that he was saying it was for the team, and they're bullying me all on the radio about me and John, that I was a joke root and that he is married to his great wife and they've got a great life. And then I was just basically talked about and put in the public like I'm somebody like to trash. And then another book said, Gangster's Paradise, actually said that those guys took me underground into some cave, some sort of bunker type thing, I think, and opened up my vagina, cut me. I think that's where they did the genital mutilation to make those girls mystic girls. So I think it was the part of the MAGA group that had hired these gangsters to ruin me and ethnic cleanse me. And I think they're saying a lot of it's India. And so India was devaluing me with the food and all that kind of stuff. And then I've been in court cases for the UK, I think, and those girls. So what else about genocide? Genocide is them harvesting and taking your crops away. So anything I built, they keep taking it off me. Anything that I've worked for, all the honor that I've worked for, they've removed it from my life, like skinned me alive. What else? So the fascism is like a hierarchy of people, a hierarchy of haters, basically. And they just all work to keep you put down at the lower point. And there's just a lot of hostility, a lot of racism, like structural racism, and a lot of hatred coming out of everywhere. And I've never been hated in my history because I was too kind-hearted and I was too easygoing. Like, it's not that I'm not easygoing. I'm a bit of a control freak. Like, in my home, all like, I don't know. I am sometimes a bit of a control freak, but I'm not like with, you know, I'm just picky how I let to be part of my heart, because I just don't want to get into problematic situations, because I've been at the brunt of sort of some weird situations before and I learned. That's why. And so anyway, they've erased that I've got any intelligence, I think. So what else was the genocide? I can't remember it all. So there's the propaganda side. That was all, I had a lot of proof of that, and they've taken a lot of my devices to destroy everything so that it looks like everything's my imagination. But we're asking for the torture victim of me that got hung up in some little shed thing that I got raped by all these men and then hung up and anally, I don't know what they did to me, put some sort of hose up me and chemicals or something and ruined my health. I think that was like the Russian establishing a position down there. I don't know, or India. It was something like this, and the guys had come after me with vengeance and put nappies on me. They've done all this cruelty to me, like a lot of like devaluing and humiliation. And I was a real adult. I was really strong woman. Like I really knew what I wanted. I really was focused on my own things. And what else? They put me. Yeah, so they keep taking and profiting off every creative endeavor that I've done. And plagiarizing everything. Then they've also taken. Yeah, they've totally destroyed everything. I don't know, read Genocide, the stages of genocide, the 10 stages, because they are making out I'm a leech. They won't let me be part of society. And I'm just saying I'm an exile for the rest of my life in this country, and if I go overseas, I don't, like, I'm being blackmailed on all these videos that I'm just so, it shouldn't be done. Nobody stepped in all these years to help me. 4 years, that's a lot of time. I think it's 4 years. And now I've got real problems with my health. I've got this real, I want to know if I do have HIV, because it's not coming up in any of my tests, but I have got something wrong with my immunity, because my body feels weak all the time and I feel like I'm in a like real fog. I'm really sick all the time, like in a not like vomity way, but I just feel like I'm almost floating on drugs or something, but I'm not on any drugs. And that's what scares me, is I'm kept alone and I'm an innocent victim of a crime and an innocent victim of passport identity theft. And I'm treated like I'm utter trash. And it's like, if I'm trash, why did I do all this work into like a good life? Now, they'd made all these Epstein reports making it that I'm really like crazy. And then I think they've taken times where I've like had to set a boundary or something, or been real angry at somebody, because there's got a lot to do with rape. They've got rape on videos, and these people have been part of it, and that's what I've gone psycho about. And they're trying to manipulate it that I'm mental, and I'm not. I think I've got another friend that she actually admitted to me that she tried to kill a guy that raped her. So I think women, it must make women very aggressive and angry, or it's made me like that, because I don't want that kind of attention. It's not what I wanted in my life. Like, it's not that I'm not romantic and stuff. It's just, it should be like somebody it should be consensual sex. It should be like the person actually has to put time and effort into you, not just like drag you around by your hair and whack you over and like have sex with you and put you on porn grinder. It's really evil.